Alright people, what's up everyone, and welcome to another reaction for another Max0r video. And I was going to watch Elden Ring today, the part 1 at least, but then I was thinking, well, it would make sense to watch this one, right? I think it would make sense to watch this one first, considering not that Bloodborne and Elden Ring are connected, which they might be. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure they are in some way. But just because I watched the first Max0r like From Software video, unless I'm missing one, maybe there's another one he did. And then watch the other one. There might be like connections for the videos. So I was like, sure, let's do it. So anyway, Bloodborne, a game I played about 10 hours of. I'm a little pussy gamer, so. It got a little hard, and I don't even want to use that excuse that there was other games out at the time, because I don't think there was. I'm a little pussy. So I got about 10 hours in, and I really enjoyed it, what I played. I just suck at that game. I just suck at most of these games. Elden Ring I'm actually not doing too bad at, though. I'm like about 30 hours in, and I beat the first 4 bosses, which is way better than I usually do with games like that. Yeah, Bloodborne. I'm sure if I really got into these games, I could really prevail. But it's one of those things where I'm just like, I'm a little baby. So, yeah, there's not going to be a lot of stuff here. I've seen people play Bloodborne a lot, but it's been a little while since I have, so I'm probably not going to really understand a lot of what's going on here when it comes to the story, but I don't think it really matters anymore. Also, this is not an inaccurate summary, to be fair. This is just a review, just like the, why was I swear to God, I was going to say Genghis Impact. Genghis Impact. Yo, put Genghis Khan in a Genshin Impact, then I'm in. But no, Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal I played though, so that one I understood. Like the I was about to say Genghis Impact again. Genshin Impact, that one I was just like, what? So anyway, there's an anime. So Bloodborne. Link in the description. Let's check it out. Oh, it's called Bloodborne Review Defeat Gods Doll Waifu Simulator. I know you get a little doll girl. That's I feel like it's a weird wording. But anyway, link in the description. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and play. But
The video has spoilers. Bloodborne is a Lovecraftian horror RPG that no one understands by definition, where the player is free to attack hordes of human children at will and consume their innards. If that in-depth and engaging anti-baby gameplay appeals to you, keep listening, because it gets worse. In this game, you play as John Bloodborne, a foreigner incapable of speech without the use of sign language, and stricken with Habsburg disease, comes to the ancient city of London seeking treatment for the sins of his cousins. In doing so, he will begin hallucinating talking dolls, spider people, and the great people. Journeying further, John Bloodborne becomes conscripted into the service of a gay elder god and the 60-year-old man he keeps as a pet, and is given the ultimate task of killing an invisible infant in order to cure his anemia. To accomplish said task, the player must journey through dark forests, terrifying nightmares, and the meth-ridden alleyways of a post-Brexit Britain, slaying monsters, exploring, and tricking women into being impregnated by gods so you can consume the child. This game is an excellent realization of a Metroidvania with something new around every corner. A great action RPG which pits you against insurmountable odds and extreme challenges, and has a gripping story and lore about discovering the Eldritch truth. So if you can, play it yourself, because I'm not going to hold back on the details. It's no secret that my reviews
I'm sorry, what?
If you can, play it yourself, because I'm not going to hold back on the details. It's no secret that my reviews are entertainment first, so I don't suggest using me as genuine advice.
Okay.
However, most people can't play this game.
That was a good transition.
Because you have to buy a $400 magical box sold by the wizard Sony in order to experience it. And even then, you get to see it in an amazing 30 frames per second.
Yeah, come on.
Port this game to PC, I beg of you. In fact, I can assume that a lot of people watch.
Hey, if they announced an actual port, I would totally play it. I would totally play it. I need to finish Elden Ring first, but I would totally play it.
In this video, we'll basically never play the game, but keep watching because I'm hilarious and original. Do that, and I can give you
I agree with that.
Unfiltered, uncensored, unsubstantiated, and unsportsmanlike experience that is Bloodborne.
See it coming! You know, good video so far, but it's been lacking children inbred eating, so I hope there's more of that. That's my critique so far.
Is what makes this game great, and the easiest way to describe it is simple but complicated. On a a simple level, your baby brain is responsible for only 2 tasks, dodging and hitting. And dodging in this game renders you temporarily invincible. Sounds easy, right? Well, because every single enemy is adjusted to keep pace with you. Basically,
it sounds so easy.
Basically able to whoop your ass into fucking non-existence. Every encounter, therefore,
that's
is
me
tense
playing.
and engaging. When you kill someone, it's because you were faster and had more meth than they did. On a complicated level, you have a gun, and normally bullets hurt people, but in London, bullets are a suggestion, like the Geneva Convention. Here in England, it's all
They're a
about
suggestion.
hurt people, but in London, bullets are a suggestion, like the Geneva Convention. Here in England, it's all about the knife bins. Except when you shoot somebody mid-attack, you gain the mystical and arcane ability to plunge your fist through their ribcage like
Bloodborne really is like, if you bring a gun to a knife fight, you look like an asshole.
combat and
Dumbass.
their heart, which is considered
Yes.
and a slight annoyance. This extends to behind them if you charge an attack.
Hear my heart out. That's fine.
Which sometimes causes you to reach up a pig's asshole and rip out the prostate like fruit by the foot. Side note, the most optimal form of currency in this game is called Murgo's pig fisting route. See, I changed the webpage, and in this route, you should go behind this guy and do him the dirt. Then entice the
Murgo's. Who the fuck is Murgo? Oh god, I'm not gonna get through this fucking video.
The most optimal farming route for currency in this game is called Murgo's pig fisting route. See, I changed the webpage. In this route, you sneak up behind this guy and do him the dirt. Then entice these two
And you go deeper!
mauled to death by members of Organization 13. Repeat 50 times. On a complicateder level, every single weapon in the game has 2 different modes with 2 different movesets.
Yeah, that was cool.
Transforming between them gives you special attacks, in addition to running attacks, plunging attacks, on a theoretical physicist level, your character memorizes squiggly lines and fridge art created by gods for passive bonuses that work regardless of
what gods
my
in this?
favorites are more money, and more money.
Money.
Finally, on a meta-theoretical chiropractic level, every weapon is customizable with different gem slots that give differing effects for your attacks. And there are different types that can literally change all of the stats of the weapon, like making a fucking spear do more damage based off of intelligence. There's definitely more and a lot of strategy in how you level up your character, but I assume that you know how to level up in a fucking video game. But with all this combat prowess, you may be wondering, Max0r, who are these crusty abominations that you're fighting on screen? Well, to learn that much, we're going to have to
Bunch of
delve
fucking
into
haters.
the lore.
Oh
so
no.
buckle your britches, bitches, because this shit is wild. If
I'm
I say
ready.
something
My britches are
questionable,
bitching.
just accept it as fact. I can be trusted. 60 years ago, 20 rowdy college students took their education extremely seriously because they found woman Cthulhu. She was just in a portable toilet downstairs. Also, because they were bored, they beat to death a god of the sea with some bats, but that's a story for later. It turns out the entire world is ruled and created by a race of elder gods beyond human comprehension called the Great Ones. Figuring this out, they got Cthulhu's blood and were like, we can make a religion out of this. Because it turns out the blood can heal people, which
so
is
that's
really
why
good
everybody's
due to all
fucked
the
up?
knife crime. So everyone starts drinking it a little too much and they get the money to build 36 cathedrals, but it turns out eventually the blood turns you into a werewolf. So the church hires a guy named German to go fight the beasts with an organization known as the Hunters, but there's too many beasts, so he gives up. Now the knife crime is increased even more, and German sort of goes insane and creates a life-size doll of one of his...
Wait, what did it say?
Now the knife crime is increased even more, and
Knife crime.
sort of goes
I will install.
insane and creates
Someone's pretty
a
cute.
life-size doll of one of his students who is an 8-foot-tall Amazonian. He also canonically has sex with it. The moon god, for some reason, kind of takes notice of this and is like, alright, listen, I'm building a suicide squad. I'm waifu to
Oh shit, that's hot.
if you serve me for all time as my slave. German reasonably thinks that this is a great deal and is imprisoned in a dream.
Man, so...
For all time as my slave. German reasonably...
What does it say? Turning in a single room with a dull woman? Sign me up, man. Sold for pussy moments ago.
Deal and is imprisoned in a dream. This is where you come in. See, the moon god assassinates baby gods for fun, but needs a hitman to go into the real world to do it, since he's confined to the 9th dimension. So in addition to fighting all manner of giant beasts and uncovering dark secrets, the true aim of this game is to commit infanticide. There's enough bullshit here to fill tax legislation, so comment your own poorly summarized Bloodborne lore below. And for the rest of us non-chills...
What is that? What is this? What?
So comment your own.
I need to know. Why do I keep seeing this GIF every time? What is it from? What anime? I need to know.
Low. And for the rest of us non-chills, we have ample time to explain more of what makes this game great.
Fucking asshole.
Yes, you
Prepare
have
to
been
die.
changed.
Yes.
I am talking about bosses before I talk about the levels. In most video games, bosses cap off areas, but in Bloodborne, areas are preambles to a dick flapping, and nothing will challenge your skill in quite the same way. Except for the goddamn Witches of Hemwick, who were placed into the game for disability access. You can probably tell that.
Their names are actually the Witches of Hemwick.
Witches of Hemwick, who were placed into the game for disability access. You can probably tell that blood.
Wait, I can make this joke. What did he say? I'm sorry. I'm gonna pause a lot.
Witches of Hemwick, who were placed into the game for disability access.
I can make this joke since I'm disabled, right?
You can probably tell that Bloodborne is a hard game. We don't even know if a games journalist can beat it. But it's hard in a fair way that tests your skills and reaction time, except for Lawrence, but I'll get back to Lawrence later. What sets this game's bosses apart is the challenge.
See, at least I'll admit that I'm not good.
Small dude jamming a toothpick into a building-sized deer demon. So yeah, I would be impressed if he killed that. But not only that, unlike Dark Souls, every single boss reacts meaningfully to how you attack them. Large beasts can have their bones
stab him in the dick. Oh, really?
Bone boys can be knocked over and have their marrow sicked. And human
give me your marrow.
When they see your height difference. As well, every boss punishes you for cowardice and actively discourages backpedaling with their forward momentum, causing every fight to be an elaborate dance with a thrilling back and forth.
That's what I love about Elden Ring. I wish Elden Ring's combat was just like. It's probably just my build. I wish I was a little bit faster in Elden Ring, because like that's what I loved about Bloodborne from what I played and from what I've seen. It's just like it feels so much faster, but that might be my build. To be fair, I think I'm just a little bit heavier.
You're fighting Rom, who is the really hungry caterpillar. If he arachnid slaves who threw their heads underground like ostriches. We don't talk about him. And while we're on the subject of bad bosses, this motherfucker, let me tell you something. The humanoid bosses in this game are paradoxically the most dangerous. But Mikolash is a psychological hazard that will hurt you personally. This boss literally feels like cut content because the fight centers around chasing him, and his direction depends on RNG, making him an actual speedrun killer. When you corner him, he uses one attack, and then you chase him again, where he gains the power to insta-kill you. God forbid you're hit by him, because that's 10 minutes gone. Here's a tip. Save up 10 poison knives and steal from your family if you must. Then wait until he jumps down this hole, poison him repeatedly, and watch him spaz the fuck out until death. You will thank me. But as a result of everyone who isn't Miko shit, conquering a boss in this game is absolutely rewarding on a level that other games cannot match. It's only because...
Yo, hey, don't talk about Furious Karting? Furious farting? What is it?
The odds are stacked against you in ways that don't feel bullshit most of the time. That conquering them is the main reason I play, and their fights are undoubtedly the best I've ever done in video games. But that I
think it's safe to say From Software has the best boss fights, and that's hard to do, but they have some of the best ones. Like, I don't even play a lot of them, and I can tell you that.
Of the time in the game. In fact, a lot of your time is spent exploring the areas, so let's get into that. Lesson 1 in area design. Where the fuck am I going? Exploration is the name of the game, except it's called Bloodborne. Only this time, you don't bring smallpox and kill 20 million people. We're looking at a solid 10 this time, because the main enemies in this game are British townspeople. It's how the developers made sure you didn't feel bad about killing them. The plague of beasts infecting London causes people's teeth to become beast-like, makes you aggressive at night, and slurs your speech. So it's up to you.
I love when anyway. Look, fucking girl.
Makes you aggressive at night and slurs your speech.
The what the fuck? Boris Johnson to outline new play. If understood by humans.
So it's up to you to stop them, as a hunter should. If you don't look up where to go next in this game, good fucking luck. People get lost all the time. Get used to it. This game doesn't do exploration like, oh look, there's room in this hallway. My dopamine's gonna go crazy.
My dopamine!
This is Daddy's exploration, where you find a route back to a place you were in 10 hours ago. And I hope you weren't expecting a mini-map, or any map. Every single hallway is a rabbit hole of discovery, and your hand isn't held. Case in point, Cathedral Ward is a level, but feels like a hub area, because it connects to fucking everything. And where you start the game is in the middle of a loop-de-loop.
You love that game.
Experimentation. Just look at the fucking map of this game. Everything overlaps. And yes, there is a level called Nightmare Lecture Hall. And no, it does not connect to the Altar of Despair, although you would think that. Fittingly, the
why can't we just have like the fucking like the room of happy? Everything gotta be sad.
Is the smallest area, and more fittingly, 90% of the combat is graduates throwing cum at you. The game also has 2 completely secret areas that
just like my high school graduation.
I would tell you how to enter. The game also has 2 completely secret areas that you would not find without the internet. I would tell you how to enter, but I don't want to do calculus. And what you get at the end, Upper Cathedral Ward is legitimately a horror area in a game loved for its combat, because it's filled with enemies who act out my greatest fears, stealing currency permanently.
Oh, What?
chills every time I talk about it. Castle Canehurst is proof that From Software hates us all, since the best area in the entire game requires you to go to the Field of Corn in Ohio and track down Waldo. But it's worth it to invade the house of that.
Yeah, From Software would be those motherfuckers that make you go to a real place to find the next level or some shit.
Parasitic queen dwelling in her demented castle so that she may feel the wrath of the proletariat. All we have to do is kill Prince Philip, who guards the way as an eternal lich. On top of this, there
that'll
are
be really hard.
NPCs and NPC quest lines spread throughout
Wait,
the
isn't
world.
Prince Philip dead now? Actually, oh no.
All with a series of interactions with each other depending on location and timing. For instance, you could direct nuns, prostitutes, and Prince Philip to a church run by a black sludge, then perform enough blood transfusions to send the nun into a yandere rage. Or you could direct them to the nice woman who runs the clinic down the street, who only wants to help and assist others. Then take a straight path through the forest and
I think I remember talking to that person. Aren't they in the beginning of the game? I remember talking to them.
Clinic to discover that she's been experimenting on all of them in order to create the Blue Man Group. And if you want, you can take the umbilical cord away from her schizophrenic ass and evil. The sky's the limit in Bloodborne questlines. And you know what
Jesus, so you bring people there and she just fucks them.
Questline is the one where you descend into literal hell, complete with eternal punishment, insanity, and femboy fishing, the scariest of them all. I'm of course talking about the DLC, the only DLC.
The old Hunters,
if you play through Bloodborne, you have to play through the DLC.
I don't know why that GIF is making me laugh.
Giving you a fucking choice. So to learn why, you should play the best expansion ever made since Spore Galactic Adventures.
Hell yeah, Jungles, fuck yeah.
The secrets of the
Spore.
Bloodborne, the old hunters.
I don't know why I love whatever. I know I pause it a lot more than usual. I love it whenever there's a video like this that's scripted where someone breaks character and laughs. It always makes me laugh. I'm gonna try not to pause so much. No.
I want you to imagine hell. Now, imagine hell written by H.P. Lovecraft. It will be filled with squids, immigrants, and air conditioning.
Oh, no.
This DLC has none of that.
H.P. Lovecraft's cool air.
Those college kids from the lore section of the video were built fucking different. They experimented on an entire village and possibly beat up a god of the sea so fucking bad that her consciousness in the 9th dimension died. We spent an entire game killing an infant, and these guys
died.
killed the MILF god. But anyways, in the process of this, it cursed them and all of the hunters to be doomed to a hell upon death, where they will hunt in a bloodthirsty rage without rest for all eternity, indistinguishable from a political subreddit. Case in point, this is Ludwig. He's the first boss of the DLC and has a reputation for causing refunds. Not because he's bad, but because he's too good for you. The first phase is as difficult for me as realizing that Golden Corral is not actually a real corral. But like every restaurant except Golden Corral, the rewards at the end are delicious because his second phase is even harder. Now, I'm not going to lie, this DLC has 4 bosses and 3 of the hardest bosses I have ever fought in any video game ever. So your ass will be clenched the entire time. The fact that he's the 3rd hardest is fucking concerning. Some people tell me, Max0r, your videos have gotten me through tough times because they made me laugh. But like this boss, you are the one who is truly overcoming these challenges, and I believe in your ability to beat both of them. King, boss lightning round.
Thanks, bro.
The DLC has many such cases of amazing bosses, including Lady Maria, who is the basis for German's extremely creepy 8-foot-tall doll fetish, but we'll get back to that. And Orphan of Cause, who was born from the literal dead body of a god. If you enjoy the sensation of being beaten to death with a sharpened placenta, this is for you. And as with everything that From Software makes, they threw in a boss that they didn't
Stop shooting me.
They finished. About Lawrence, which is a very mundane
like a placenta?
fire monster locked in hell. Take my advice, don't fight Lawrence. You only lose a part of yourself. Since this boss fights you by dropping off his own legs and then violently vomiting and shitting lava everywhere. I've always wanted my game about dynamic dodging and elaborate fencing to be reduced to shitty area denial like it's Team Fortress 2. To wrap things up, the music of this game is pretty good, but the DLC music is fucking insane. I don't know what it is about Japanese composers being able to make better symphonies than the continent that invented them, but just take a listen.
Wait, what did that say? I know, right? Their fucking music is insanely good.
Able to make better symphonies than the continent.
Their games are insanely good. Wait, this is a joke. I do not literally believe video game composers literally surpass Mozart.
Just take a listen.
Oh, who's alive?
Have you ever thought, as I do, that this game is
I guess Mozart's alive, never mind.
too good, that you would really rather be playing a shittier version of the game, such as the engagement of the Chalice dungeons? I, of course, jest. They're fine, probably, except for half of them, because Bloodborne has an optional system of infinite dungeon generation for all of those who wish to break free of the shackles of good level design. Let's talk about how, and more importantly, why. First of all, Bloodborne has a system of dungeons that everyone shares and dungeons that are random. For my footage, I played the shared dungeons.
Oh my god! No. No.
The pain you witness on screen is mandatory. One of the biggest strengths of Bloodborne is the ability to have interesting and challenging enemy encounters gently rubbed with the blood-stained hands of Miyazaki. But I don't think I have to explain to you how randomizing almost every encounter in the game could be imbalanced. But fortunately, most enemies you encounter in the Chalice dungeons are new to spare British people your wrath, so you instead fight SCP-96. But why are we here? It turns out that the entire city of London...
Like... I feel like everything in Bloodborne could be an SCP creature.
It was built on a Celtic burial ground, an ancient civilization called the Sumerians who discovered the healing powers of blood and then mysteriously disappeared. Wow, I wonder what happened. This is all cool in theory, but the reality is that most of the time...
Wait, what is it, gravity?
Wow, I wonder what happened. This is all cool in theory. But the reality is that most of the time you fight the same 4 enemies, and the first 3 dungeons can be replaced by Simon Says. My cat literally wouldn't notice. The Chalice dungeons are so forgotten that the developers use them to put joke enemies into the game. My favorite is the man who aggressively rolls at you stark naked wearing only his Nikes. The uniqueness also extends to the bosses, and they're actually pretty cool, like Sumerian Descendant, Watchdog, and the 3 overweight men. Do you remember that basic enemy from like 2 levels? He is the boss now. Rom. He is the boss again. The only thing stopping me from throwing myself into a wood chipper is the fact that Mikolash isn't back. And if you're going to have replays, you probably want to make sure that they're actually good. In fact, the bosses are so fucking imbalanced that the Watchdog fight is primarily comprised of instant kill attacks. I beat Sekiro backwards.
What the fuck?
This shit is too fucking much. Now, normally that would be all.
What's wrong with
that? Dungeons go deeper. What we've discussed so far is merely the surface, and there is a much darker syndicate lying just below. These places you must never venture, for they are the save edit dungeons, whereby through wizardry the community are able to conjure up deep dark chasms and share them with the rest of the world.
Oh fuck that.
Of these secrets, there are only 2 that I shall reveal to you. And
I can only assume if this was on PC, this fucking game would be one of the most supported video games ever. If when it comes to like mods and shit, if you could do mods.
The cum dungeon. Yes, you heard
the cum dungeon.
The cum dungeon.
The cumgeon. Enter the cumgeon.
Ever conceived by the fucking cricket people who do
there he is,
this
cum lord.
The player enters the chasm of place name and watches as a high-level boss yeets itself off a cliff. Murgo's pig fisting route can give you 10,000 echoes.
I'm talking about Murgo's pig fisting route.
And if you thought that that's...
It really is called a cum dungeon? You're not even joking?
This gives 83,000. And if
a cum dungeon offers the fastest XP farming in Bloodborne. That was fucking only a year ago?
That sorcery was bad. It gets much worse. You can insert anything from the game files by save editing a Chalice dungeon. Anything. This includes cut and unfinished content from the game that the developers forgot to delete. Like this doggo who attacks you with invisible lightning. Overall, the Chalice dungeons are bad. They're not actually very fun to play, and yet I love them. Everyone loves them because they allow us to further explore a long-dead game with the help of a passionate community. Now, before we sign off, I know what you're thinking. Max0r, what about the multiplayer? That I would love to talk about with all the footage I have. It's dead. If this game releases on PC and it better, then I will talk.
Is it really dead? I feel like that can't be true. Especially, well, I guess this was before Elden Ring. I have to believe this game is not dead now because of Elden Ring.
Talk about the multiplayer extensively. And finally, this game and this video would not be complete if I didn't talk about the hunter's dream. After all the combat, the battles, and the difficulty of this game, it's nice to have a place to recharge, purchase items, upgrade weapons, and watch as it violently burns to the ground. This is where you'll find German slowly wasting away as his soul remains captive for an eternity. And his doll waifu that he sold his existence to be with. She talks to you, levels you up, offers you advice.
So is that really for the lore? He really did sell his soul to a doll?
And German says you're allowed to have sex with her. When I fell down and felt defeated, she was there to pick me up. When I emoted at her randomly, she pretended to be impressed, and she was there, graciously standing in the background of this one shot that I took of myself. She is our waifu now, and the game is perfect and complete because she is in it. Now, excuse me as I engage in the supplementary lore material. Should you get the game? Yes, absolutely. I am biased. In fact,
it's
you
like
should
a $10 game.
Enter Sony's headquarters and demand that it be ported to PC. I will be right there with you. Tasers will not stop me. I would like like to thank the corrupt hackers and politicians funneling money into this channel directly from the taxpayer. If you would like to contribute your
That was a great
funds
video.
accrued through extensive federal government corruption, you can head to
I feel like that was
to learn more.
I feel like that was an even review between that and the DLC.
Smut Discord, who sent me half the memes in this video. And as always,
Smutbusters,
thank
what?
you for watching.
No problem, man. Anytime. You beautiful bastard. I could have done what a CUM for cum. We talk about cum dungeons and cum throwers and cum lords. That was a great video. See, now that's a review. You know, all these people out there, IGN, fucking all these other people, they don't talk about the cum dungeons of any game. And there's plenty of cum dungeons. You fuckers. So get the fuck out of here. Y'all fake. You don't talk about the cum dungeons. What the fuck cum dungeon, motherfucker? Motherfucker. That was great. So that was the Bloodborne review. Defeat Gods Doll Waifu Simulator. It made me, you know, I feel like every one of these reviews, and even the summaries, especially the summaries, actually, I should say, really makes me want to play the games. This one on a lesser extent, this one makes me want to play Elden Ring a little bit more, though, I will say, which I'm sure when the Elden Ring video, I finally watch it, I'm sure that's gonna really make me want to watch play Elden Ring. But yeah, so I mean, this game needs a fucking PS5 version. What are they doing? They can literally just port it, made it 60 frames, and that's it. That's all I need to do. Maybe upgrade the visuals just a little bit. They don't even need to do that. The game will sell fucking millions of copies. I'm sure it will. You could charge like full price again, which would be bullshit to be fair, but people will buy it, especially now. Elden Ring fucking sold like 12 million copies in fucking not even 3 months yet. It's like Bloodborne, people love it. It's an amazing game. It will sell at least a couple million copies. That will be so much money right there. So much money. I know I accuse Sony, but I know it's probably From Software too. They have some ownership of the fucking game, I'm sure. They made it, so I can only assume, but I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That is Bloodborne review from Max0r. That was great. That was great. So anyway, there you go. That was all I got. That was great. That was great. Editing is insane. I think I'm just so used to it, or maybe it's because these are still later or older videos that, you know, I say that, but the Metal Gear Rising one was like, no, I guess that was still kind of more recent. That was like, what, December of 2011. This is April. I feel like I want to say I'm just getting more used to it. You know, I mean, I've watched, what is my like 7th, 8th one so far. At this point, I'm just going to watch every single one of these. The only one I think I might not watch is Yakuza, because I do want to play that. So that one I might skip. Just warning y'all. But let me know if it's like a big spoiler one. I mean, this one, I feel like spoiled stuff, but none of that is going to stick in my brain, because the way he spoils things might as well just be fake. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing I now know is that, and if it's true, I'm not even sure, is that Jermaine, is his name Jermaine, or is it actually German? I thought it was Jermaine. Let's say German. He sold his soul for a doll, and then you're allowed to fuck the doll. Can you do that in the game? If so, I'm playing it right fucking now. Anyway, I'm going. Get my copy. It's actually behind me. I don't need to do that. It's a bookcase right here. Anyway, that's my PS4 games. So that's it. We're good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Till next time. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye.